the future is gonna be very interesting because yeah, I mean, oh my god, it's gonna be very difficult to talk with while like before go full. Oh my god, for people that don't know what I'm doing, I'm basically placing my fingers this way because before I had them like I literally just typed like this. So using these fingers this way, I mean you cannot see it very well. Or maybe you can. No, you cannot. Placing it like this. It's much difficult because I have typed for all my life with two fingers. Oh. At the end of the day, it's just practice. So, in a few months, by practicing the right way, I'm gonna be able to do this seamlessly. Like, barely. Shit. Oh my god. I need to really prioritize the quality over quantity right now. So not do it as fast as possible. Because if you do it, you look at these errors. For example, right now, oh, I'm concentrating more on the quality shit over the quantity. Man, shit. Where's the T? now I understand why companies keep producing products with the QWERTY keyboard. What the hell? So yeah, I need to prioritize quality over quantity. Now let's actually get into what I was thinking about, the reason why I decided to click recording to this. It's about AI. And I'm like really just always thinking about that, right? But I think I'm thinking too small, because I'm thinking from the perspective of a lot of people, if not most people, about what are we going to do. By the way, I don't know how to record this and the keyboard to not be heard, but I don't know how to do that right now, so whatever. Just need a, well, I do know how to do it. I just need a software that gets rid of this, but whatever. Dangerous. Basically, about the, what are we going to do, right? What are humans going to do if the AI does everything better? Is the good old question, right? But like, I'm genuinely concerned, because I don't know, something strange. Because some people say, man, like, there's always gonna be something to do. And then there's some other people that they are like, man, like, you're literally, for example, programmers. And the reason why I give this example is because I'm learning to program, essentially, right? That even if I prefer programming than coding, so at the end of the day, programming is, in my opinion, you solving problems with tools. In this case, the tools are coding, right? You don't categorize yourself as solely a coder, because at the end of the day, you're too focused on the code, on being like, hey, I just want to write the code by myself. Well, you're gonna be replaced, and that has certainly happened to me. Not about getting replaced, but about learning to program. I just too focused on coding, on the syntax, on whatever of the language, rather than actually thinking, planning how to solve a problem. Because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, programming is literally just solving a problem with a system, right? And it's the most basic thing in the world, in the programming world. So I don't know why I didn't start there. So I'm gonna start there on this programming stuff about actually solving problems with a system. At the end of the day, that's all it is, right? Twitter, or X, is a system, very complex system. You know, you obviously have the normal functionality of, hey, I'm gonna post. Okay, when you post, you go to the database, and the database, blah 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 blah. And then you have one part of the system, which is the algorithm, that's the most complex thing, which is, hey, recommend this content based on the user behavior, whatever. So that is a system, right? At the end of the day, solving a lot of problems, right? Basically get the news instantly, right? Like you can literally just type, this happened, and in seconds, the world's gonna know it. So, obviously there's a lot of infrastructure behind that. Because at the end of the day, if there's no internet, there's no Twitter. But also the internet is a system, right? So, at the end of the day, that's what all software engineering is, right? You are solving problems, or being an engineer to solve problems with systems. In this case, digital systems. Like, I don't know how people call it. I just prefer to them like that way, in my opinion. And very efficient in a lot of things, right? These systems that we have created, from the internet to robotics, like the digital system itself, right? The software is all from code and programmers. That's why, that's literally it. That's the most fundamental way to view it. Distractions. So yeah, where I was, I fucking forgot. All I know is I was on AI stuff. So yeah, basically, there's people that are like, okay, what are we gonna do? And then there's people that are like, we're gonna do something. Like, humans will still do something despite that situation that I outlined before. And I am more inclined to that part. But when I hear the people that say like, man, like, just think about it. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, just for example, you programming part, you are a business owner that requires people that have the knowledge to create digital systems to solve problems. And that's like your main business model for whatever it is. Then you have two paths. One way is to get humans to do it, programmers. Shit. No. Fucking distractions. Whatever, what I was saying is that you have two options as a business owner. You have that piece of meat that we call humans to use a computer to create this system and solve the problem. And then you have this digital system that also creates the same system to solve the same problem. So both do the same thing. The difference is that one makes it faster, cheaper, because it doesn't need to eat, doesn't need whatever benefits, and even better quality. So which one do you want? Well, the one that fucking gives you all that benefits. Therefore, you get rid of the human. And that's gonna happen in every company, because there's gonna be AI solutions for every industry. right? So even if I am on the team of the people that said, man, we're humans, we have always figured out something to do, and the things that we do are even of better quality, gives us a better quality of life, it's not boring and makes us creative and do stuff that is, that we feel proud, or that we feel we're doing something important. And that's true, that has happened to a lot of things. It's still very scary, the other opinion. And I mean, the reason why it's like really got me thinking is that both sides have very intelligent people. That, like, there's very intelligent people. Like, there's not your aunt, whatever, that does great pies on Sundays, that doesn't know anything about technology. That, like, the people that I'm talking about that are saying this, they're not your average guy, okay? Like, I know it sounds very, like, not, respectful to talk about it that way, but it's just the truth, man. Like, if you compare a business owner which has generated not only money, because money is not about, oh, he's a billionaire, that's it. Like, money is a really good tool to measure output. Like, what have you done for the world? So if you have a billionaire which clearly has done something for the world, something big on tech, which is the industry we're talking about of AI, and the industry that AI comes from, talking about it, we need to pay attention, right? Still, they are humans, so we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if we don't know. And these very smart people and important people, these smart people are in both sides. So that's what scares me. Not scares me, but it's really like, okay, like, just makes me think about it, about my future, or whatever, the future of humanity, essentially. Because it's true, like, businesses will prefer AIs than humans, but it just makes sense. It's more logical, right? So in that case, what are humans gonna do? But also, I agree with the view that humans have always figured out something to do, and we will do something. So, it's that kind of uncertainty that I have right now, because at the end of the day, I'm 17 years old. And I was born on July 25th of 2007. So I'm like 7 months away from. So you can see right now is where it is. Yes, the 7th of January is 2025. So I'm 7 months away from becoming 18 years old. And I'm in this stage where I'm like, okay, what things do I need to do now for me to have a good future? Not only that, but also, what things can I do now to, in the future, have a great impact, right? And I have come to the conclusion, or at least from the limited knowledge that I have, or the limited research that I have made, and I say limited because there's always more research to made. From the thing that I have consumed, I have come to the conclusion that there's areas that are key to to make an impact, right? Like to create something that is useful for people. And I don't know, like tools. That's the right word, tools. That if you have an idea that can solve a problem, for example, a system or whatever it is. I think that everything is it's a system, right? So let's just call it that way. Then you can solve it with those tools, and those tools, in my opinion, are physics, which you don't need to be a physicist in order to solve problems or any problem, but like I think it's a good foundation, right? It just gives you, and in this case, it's not that much about solving problem. It's more about understanding what is like why things happen, how things work. Like that's more of a personal curiosity that I have, right? So it's not. I don't view it really as a necessary thing. But in that case, I think it's obviously useful because you understand how things work. And if you're especially going to a technology field, you understand much better how to solve a problem, right? You have more context. But in my case, it's more about um, personal curiosity, which is physics, then software engineering. Like there's it has a lot of terms, man. The universities call it however they want to call it. I call it I don't even know how to call it, but I'm just gonna say software engineering, basically, or programming. I say it sometimes. I say programming. Sometimes I say software engineering. Sometimes people say computer science. It's just basically using computers or whatever. Using yeah, computers, leveraging computers to build systems and solve problems. I don't know how to say it, but basically that software engineering. Mm, and then business. I also was gonna say AI. 'Cause it's literally gonna be part of the next big changes. But I think that's part of software engineering, right? Or it's another different field. I don't know. Let's just put it as a different field. So it's yes, it's AI. Basically in that way, AI is very broad, man. Like, because there's, for example, right now there's careers in universities that simply tell you, okay, the basics of how to like build AIs, like neural networks and all that, and it's very broad. Like, for example, like people right now say, oh, I'm gonna build an internet company. Very broad. What does that mean? Like, literally, if you're just working, providing online courses through the internet, you're an internet company, right? So it has become very broad. Before, like the 90s, 20, 20th century, you said that and you were like, oh, a company that was leveraging software engineering to solve problems through the internet, like PayPal, Amazon. The same is becoming right now. That's gonna be the thing. Right now, in the 2020s, like the AI has really exploded. And at the beginning of this explosion, you said, "Oh, you're an AI company. Oh, okay, you're creating these systems, right? You're creating these models. But now, in 10 years from now, you say you're an AI company. It's like, man, okay, everyone's using AI, so what? Like, are you just using the tools, and that's why you call yourself an AI company, or are you actually building them? Um, this is gonna happen. So that's why I mean, that's an example of why AI is a very broad term. Just like the internet is a very broad term, AI is also a very broad term. So I don't know how to actually put it as a tool of physics or as a tool. At the end of the day, physics is also a very broad term. Like if a quantum mechanics is one field of physics, Newtonian mechanics is not. Is another. Sorry, Newtonian physics. I don't know how it's said, but it's basically from Newton, and quantum. Yeah, quantum mechanics. I already said it. And from Einstein, the relativity theories. All those are like branches from physics. But yeah, I think so you're understanding what I'm saying. Bro, I'm not even talking to anyone. I'm just talking to a camera, but whatever. Maybe my future self sees this. Just gonna see this. But yeah, it's basically physics, software. Creating software, solving problems with systems, with software, whatever you want to call it. Business. That's a key one. Because if you have the business skills, like if you understand that world, it's much easier to help people, right? Like it's much easier for your ideas to actually help people, to actually have an impact. Like let's compare Tesla. He was a genius, but he hadn't had the business skills, and therefore that's why in his time he really didn't make a big impact, even if he actually made the biggest of the impacts right now. You know what I mean. And also not only that, but also you don't get tricked. There's a lot of smart people that want to get you, that want to trick with you, with your ideas or whatever. So it's a very useful tool overall. And yeah, like an AI, but AI is very broad. So you can either say AI to know how to use the tools, or you can literally know how to build the tools, which is more complex, right? But I'm just gonna put AI as both, man. Like basically like know the basics of how these tools were like built, and obviously use the tools. Because at the end of the day, if you don't use AI, you're gonna be fucked. So it's just very interesting thing, and those tools I think are, in my opinion, tools that I need to acquire to really like just tools to basically navigate the world in the future. It's, in my opinion, tools that are going to be very helpful um to navigate the future in the yeah, navigate the future. um so like there's these two ideas, which is okay, why do you learn all that if AI already has the knowledge of that, and it's gonna do it better than you? Yeah, it's true. It's like, man, yeah, man. But then it's like, man, why not? Because if you learn all that, you're gonna be much better at using the AI and collaborating with the AI, because you're gonna have that, basic knowledge. You're not gonna be as wise as the AI, but you're gonna have that basic knowledge combined with whatever the consciousness of humans are, or whatever the humans are, and that's gonna be very special. And now you utilize and collaborate with AI, I think it's more valuable than someone that doesn't know anything and just says, okay, do this AI. I don't know. And I have always come to the conclusion when I'm like thinking about this, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared. What if AI does everything better than me? What am I gonna do? Like, what's my purpose? I've always come to the conclusion, it's like, man, just still try to learn as much as possible, collaborate with the AI, and that's gonna be a great combo. But then, whenever I see new AIs coming up that are really, really, you know, going to replace humans because they're so good at either programming or whatever it is. I'm like, man, what the fuck? It's something very interesting. For example, that happened with some of the agents and programming, right? Like right now, for example, I want to learn programming the right way, as I said before. And oh shit. And then you see all these tools that are literally that instead of you as like an entrepreneur or whatever telling businesses, hey, I can do this for you, they're like, no, 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 thanks, I already have this AI tool that can do it for me easier. It's like, wow, what are we gonna do? And it's not only in programming side, it's like anything. Like whenever the human or robots surpass the amount of the population, what are like construction workers gonna do? It's just strange. And I still have the belief. I mean, I have not read a lot of history, but from the little things that I know in history and the technological advancements that have happened through history, I know that humans have always found a way to do stuff and to use these tools. But it's, they're just those two things in my head. There's this, man, this has already happened in history. It's a tool. Humans will find out in 100 years from now or 20 years from now, which is going to really be transformative AI transformation. What the fuck you said? In which humans are going to just find a way. Like, we don't know the jobs from 20 years from now, how they're going to be. Like, just better prepare with, critical thinking. What is the other thing that Sam Altman said? Studies, kids should study. He said resilience. So, you have this part of my brain is like, man, study those things and still try to learn as much as possible. Try to be a knowledge absorber, right? And still learn skills, right? Like, and have that basis of critical thinking, of resilience, because the future is still gonna be with a lot of things for you to do, and with those tools you're gonna do it better than anyone. And then there's this other part, which is like, man, what are we gonna do, right? Like, what are we gonna do? Why study all these things if the AI is already gonna do it better, right? And it's like, man, like, what are we gonna do? So it's interesting. Like, this other part, like, man, why are you gonna study? Bro, I fucking forgot what I was gonna say in this part. I really said it well in this part, but I forgot what exactly I was gonna say. But yeah, it's basically, hey, what are we gonna do if the AI is doing things better? I don't know. I'm still more on this part that we're gonna still find things to do. And also, you need to like inform yourself of AI. Okay, start learning things and whatever. But I'm also like, whenever there's like new like things here, and whenever people that are very smart on the field or in general talk about this viewpoint, it's strange, because for example, like counter argument that a lot of people have to this thing of, oh, it's another tool. Just look at history, that has happened a lot of times. People have an argument for that argument. People from this part say, no, this is not another tool. This is not a smartphone that you control the smartphone. This is a thing that is gonna think for itself. And then you hear this like, damn, that's true. It's not just not another tool. It is the tool. the ultimate tool, right? This is very strange, man. Because some people say it's thinking, it's intelligent. Some people say it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for this part. This, which is just learn the foundation things that are gonna still help me in the future. I don't know. I'm just gonna focus on those 4 areas, those 3 areas. Not only because I think, in my opinion, are important, but also I just enjoy it, right? Like technology in general, business in general, and I don't know. And obviously, the arguments of these guys to prepare for that future, because that future is gonna it's already happening. It's gonna happen in the next 10 to 20 years. I think is gonna be the most changes. There's gonna be the most changes within the AI and the workforce and the economy. So you need to really, if you're not really like changing, if you're not really preparing yourself, either by like starting these things of resilience and whatever, or my best bad guess is that you're not gonna survive, right? Not in the literal way, but like you're not gonna be as relevant as some people that actually did that. And I said my best bad guess because at the end of the day, we don't know what was gonna happen. So I think I don't know, just fucking don't know. This has become so strange. Let me just try to do a perfect of these. Oh my god. Fuck. The future is gonna be wild. I don't know. I just want to actually think that it's gonna be just so incredible. There's just gonna be so much abundance because of the productivity that there's gonna be in the economy. And then everything's gonna be so good. Because that sounds logical and sounds just much better. Imagine a future like that, an utopia. Certainly possible. But then these motherfuckers who are also very smart that talk about future just not being the best for humans, and what are we gonna do when the AI can do everything much better? Is also very logical, right? So oh my god, I'm just not going. Yeah, that's the thing. So let's just make the future an utopian. Like the future is gonna be bright. Let's just view it that way. Let's just view it that way. The future is gonna be bright. Very exciting. Seems very exciting, man. Very fucking exciting. It's crazy. Like, actually, I think about it, it's crazy. It's gonna be very exciting. But also, bro, I fucking hate to say but also, but yeah. I just think this is gonna be the way, and this one is gonna be like, no, we don't know how it's gonna happen. We don't know. We don't know. Let me do a perfect one. Oh my god. Let me do a perfect one in the next one. Without mistakes. I'm getting better, I'm not gonna lie. It's feel more natural. And it's obvious if you fucking practice. There you go, there you go. I'm not looking at the keyboard. Oh my god, fucking look at the keyboard. Let's go. Yeah. Just focus on. Just practice, man. It's just. I don't even know why I'm even talking about this. It's just obvious. Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.